In association with RM. Exciting learning.
I went to a heads briefing this morning and somebody said to me, "Are you enjoying it?" And there was a long silence because I thought, well, I can't really say I'm enjoying it at the moment because there's so many things happening and there's been so many different dramas. To be honest, you're feeling overwhelmed by the huge scale of the job ahead of you.
Vanda Noakes, the new head teacher at Daubney Primary, is back with renewed vigour after her first half-term break.
I think it's just turned into sort of bedlam the last couple of days. We had open evening last night, so I was here till very late. Very successful open evening. Interviewing for a new assistant head this morning. Then I've got 2 lunchtime exclusions where behaviour's kicked off. I'm waiting for their parents to come. And we've got an assembly in about 3 minutes' time. And let us give thanks for all the things that make us different, for all the things that make us unique, each and every one of us.
No school can be better than its leader. If the management of the school is not good, the school can't be good. But luckily the head seems to be very good. We've only had her for 6 weeks, but it seems that it's very good. There are a lot of positive changes taking place.
Vanda's plans to involve parents more are being put into action.
The school is the heart of the community, and I think if the school gets it right, that ripples out into the community, and then that ripples and ripples and has a huge effect. Welcome everybody. Those of you who don't know me, this is my first term as head teacher at Daubney. It's a great school and I'm really happy to be here, and I'm really happy to welcome you here. I've been in a lot of schools and met with a lot of parents, and these were the most enthusiastic, energetic group I've met, and it was lovely. And one of the things that they were passionate about was it's Black History Month in October, so they've come up with the idea that can all the children dress up in the national costume and can they make food, and which is lovely because it's a really nice start to get the ball rolling with the parents involved in the school. I knew that Black History Month hadn't really been celebrated here, and some of my black teachers had said that to me, can't we make more of it? Well, I would have wanted to anyway.
Sierra Leone is on the coast west of Africa, bordering on the North Atlantic Ocean. Sierra Leone is very rich in minerals, such as diamonds, gold, silvers and emeralds.
But I believe that wherever you are, there's only one God and everyone should believe in one God. And wherever you go, you should have peace.
It's a big school, but you get together in the hall like that, and the kids are really happy, and doing it through music and shows is always the best way, isn't it? Well, it's moments like this that I know why I came to Hackney. And this is what I envisaged, but I didn't envisage it happening so early on, and with so many of the parents on board. Wonderful. This is just the start of what we're going to do.
10 weeks into her headship, Vanda is proving successful with parents and children. But she is still working on relationships with her staff.
I've been deputy head here for 12, nearly 13 years now. Specifically, I deal with Key Stage 2 and I head up assessment, and this year I've got a huge brief for teaching and learning with the older children in the upper school.
You're doing our song to your music, so we'll follow it, all right? Down by the riverside.
There's 2 deputy heads here. For the amalgamation of the 2 schools, I was the deputy head of the infant school, and I'm also class teacher, so I run the foundation stage, but that's going to be changing because I'm not going to be in the class doing that this year, I don't think. Obviously, when somebody new comes, you expect change, because what's the point of a new personality coming in if they don't change some things? And we know that we were not perfect, and there were things that needed changing. What I think is difficult for people is that they're expecting change but don't necessarily know what the change is going to be, so there's quite a lot of insecurity around.
Children in 5D are not going to be in the maths. It's quite difficult getting used to a new way of working. I think people kind of pussyfoot round each other a little bit because you don't want to upset anybody, and yet you want to meet them halfway and do what they want you to do. So it's quite an awkward relationship to start with, I think.
I think people are finding the rate of change is... But this is why it's so difficult, because that is what people are feeling. Too much is changing too soon, too quickly. But then if you actually say, well, what has changed? It's very difficult to define the too many things that are happening. But it's just a general feeling of uncertainty that people have.
I don't think you can institute it too quickly. I feel confident that the changes I'm putting in place, some of the changes should have been in place 23 years ago. So actually, when a school has been sort of stuck in that way, no, I don't think so. I think there's some staff who may be feeling that. Maybe it's too quick for them. But these kids have one chance of an education. So I could sit around for 2 years and gradually put the changes in. I feel the changes I've put in place already have impacted on I know it's impacted on the children. There are children who are happier now. Now, if I said that in front of my deputies, they'd say, well, they were always happy. But I know there are vulnerable children here who are already feeling happier. There are special needs children here, I feel, who are feeling happier. I think when you're talking about kids and they're, you know, this is their chance of education, no, it can't be too quick.
When she came, she brought 2-3 other people with her. That was for a reason. Or 3 people came to do PPA, which you'd have to have anyway because of the legislation. And it just happened the person who used to do non-contact for us is off on maternity leave, so it wouldn't have been so many. But it's like this new person arrives with his whole entourage, and people feel like, oh, there's been a decision made about our school that we're not good enough. And this is a hit squad coming in. And I can see where it, from both sides, I can see that it's not that, because this is practical and she might as well bring in people that she knows is going to be able to do the things that you want. But it's difficult in that way, because it's nearly an us and them, and that's what you don't need.
Let's be quiet now and let's see what we're going to do next.
Vanda is especially concerned that her deputies are feeling insecure, as she has some bad news for them.
The news I had to tell the deputies is actually, it's more than bad news, because what I was effectively saying was that under the new management structure and with the school's budget, we can't afford to have 2 deputies come 2008. That's pretty devastating news if you're one of those deputies. Financially and in lots of other ways, it is the way forward. But that's been hard for both of them. And I would say they took it as well as can be expected. That's not easy. Things like that are quite hard. And then you're aware that there's going to be other talk and everybody's going to be feeling a bit insecure. So that maybe accounts for the feeling at the moment that people, I think, are sort of a bit, what's going on? But it's because they've been under one head for so many years, 23 years. I think anybody who would have come in, people are going to be a bit apprehensive. So I think at the moment, emotions are running fairly high, even though I'm trying to do it in a compassionate way and through making relationships one-to-one, but it's hard, yeah. But they're decisions that go with the job, aren't they? Tough decisions that have to be made, and I have to have an overview of all these children and the whole school, not just 2 people's jobs.
The job is demanding, diverse and sometimes lonely, but Vanda knew this when she took it on and had prepared for it.
The NPQH, the national qualification that heads do, I mean, initially I was very sceptical when I went on it, but it has really helped, because I think it helps prepare you for the fact that stuff is being chucked at you literally every 5 minutes, and I found that a really good preparation for my headship. This was when I met with our catering company yesterday morning to tell them that I wasn't happy with the fact they weren't paying the right money for single status job evaluation. So our cook is actually being paid less than other cooks in Hackney. Our cook at the moment, until she becomes catering manager here, is also one of our cleaners. Now we pay her as a cleaner and she earns more as a cleaner than she does as the cook, cooking for 500 children. It just shows you it's not right, is it?
While staffing problems continue, Vanda is overseeing a rolling programme of building repairs.
This was one of the rooms very similar to some of the ones we saw earlier, where all that fungi and crumbling paint, and certainly over here was terrible, and it's looked so much better already. I didn't feel daunted about taking on the premises because I'm the daughter of a school caretaker, so I sort of grew up knowing all about sinks and plumbing and you know, decoration. So actually, no, I really like that side because you get something back straight away. You know, raising standards takes a wee bit longer, but decorating a room, you get some instant response. Absolutely amazing news yesterday. You see, stuff happens so quickly you forget. It looks like a very strong possibility, very strong, that we're going to get our children's centre on the land just down here, which would mean a new nursery for us, a day nursery, facilities for the community. I am just so over the moon and excited about it. And finding that out yesterday, yeah, we've got to go through the whole process, but it looks like we meet all the criteria, so I think it's going to happen. Doing that and getting the early years curriculum started yesterday, I'm really excited. There's lots of positive things happening. I am very concerned alongside that with the stuff in Key Stage 2, but you know, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Securing the funding for the proposed nursery is a personal triumph for Vanda. Instead of finding money from her existing budget to repair the nursery, she has applied for extra money to turn it into a children's centre. And she's got it.
We're going to get something like 1.8 million, and there will be a children's centre, there's different children's centres going up in Hackney, some large, some small. This is going to be one of the larger ones. And we'll have a brand new nursery for our children, and there'll be a nursery for babies from 0 to 3. This building is now, as I'd hoped in the beginning, going to be knocked down to make way for the children's centre. We've only done some temporary repairs. Oh yes, it has been mended, I'm pleased. I mean, it's still not wonderful, but it is so much better than it was. And if we had the previous footage, this was all hanging down. So I'm really pleased. So a temporary job's been done, that's great. Much better for the children.
As Christmas approaches, Vanda reviews her first term at Daubney. She's had a number of successes, but she's also been feeling the pressure.
It's quite a stressful time for everyone, but I would hope that with the majority of them, it's been positive. I would feel I'd failed if for the majority of them it wasn't positive. I think if everybody was feeling negative and hating me, well, they might do, but I sort of feel that maybe it's not everybody, then I would be worried. I think we've taken some big strides forward, and I think the key is the relationships.
I think this term has gone well. Look, there are lots of growing pains in the school, but that's natural for any change in life. There are going to be growing pains, and they might continue for a while still, but I think it's gone really, really well. We've tried a lot of new things. We've seen some changes. The kids are very excited, and I've heard a lot of positive comments from the parents as well.
She has started to put in place a lot of things that we are going to benefit from. And I think the school was stagnant for a long time, and I think Vanda is the one that is going to help us. She has some brilliant ideas.
Vanda has had 11 weeks to get her ideas rolling. She's started to develop a relationship with the local community. She's already put the school on a business footing. Her staffing review is ongoing. So, at the end of her first term, what would her advice be to other heads just starting out?
I think what I've learned is patience. The times you have to bite your tongue and be patient. And I'm not someone who believes I can achieve change through being very confrontational. I mean, I can be tough. We all can be tough when we have to. But I'd much prefer to do it in an unconfrontational way, in a gentle way, in a way. But what advice? I don't know, grit your teeth and have lots of early nights, I think.